Hey,
Hey, what's up?
welcome to the Worship Hangover.
Yeah, I'm Zach,
I'm Dallas.
and this is...
Kathleen.
Hi, Kathleen. Thanks for joining us today.
Of course.
Hey, so kind of tell us what's your role around here you work at Hershey Christian Church. What's your role here?
I'm the children's minister, so that means I'm in charge of birth through 6th grade.
Okay, awesome. How'd you get into that?
I actually went to college for teaching, and I always liked the idea of being a children's minister.
Mhm.
And then I went to Johnson University where they have both,
Cool.
and so I just kind of switched.
Yeah.
Scared the crud out of my parents.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I switched in the middle of my junior year from youth to worship,
Ooh.
and they were like, what are you doing?
Mhm.
So I understand. I went to
Mhm.
school for a long time.
My parents were funny. I told them I was going to go into ministry, and they're like, "That's cool. So what are you going to do for money?"
Yep.
I was
Yep.
like,
Excuse me.
They do pay you
Bless
now.
Yeah.
They what?
They do pay you now.
Yeah, right? It's a bonus. Cool. So you went to Johnson.
Yep.
That's awesome. Over in Tennessee.
Yes.
I love that area.
It's so beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Yes. So you went there for teaching.
Mhm.
Okay. Then how long ago did you graduate?
About a year.
About a year ago. So how long have
Wow.
you been here?
Pretty much since I graduated, about a month of transition.
All right. Cool.
Now,
Then
where are you originally from?
Yeah, I'm from here.
Ah,
oh.
Yep. This used to be a nursery when I was a baby. And
All right.
All
okay.
that, yeah.
It's
So
still we have if you can't see this obviously, but there are little tables and chairs, so it's still a little people room, but it's
Yeah.
not a nursery.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. So like, how did that happen?
I grew up down the road a little bit, and so I went to college, went out, and I never thought I would be back here in my life. Never wanted necessarily to be in this area. After being in Tennessee, and it's so beautiful
yeah,
and mountainy,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
it was really hard. I had another job offer that just wasn't right.
Uh-huh.
And then they contacted me for
Okay.
you.
Cool.
Gotcha.
So like, did you graduate with a teaching degree?
No, I
No.
graduated with children's ministry.
Okay, so that gotcha. That's
Mhm.
that transition happened.
So, and I'm really interested in this because they were without a senior pastor when you got hired, right? Because Jacob is interim.
Technically, yeah. Mhm.
So, accepting a job where they're looking for someone for the lead role, what's that like? What went through your head, or did anything go through your head about that?
I think it's just because we have so much background here. Like,
Okay.
Jacob really is kind of like my older brother
Okay.
in a lot of ways.
Okay.
So I trusted him a lot, and then on top of that, we had a huge elder change
Okay.
within that. So
Okay.
the whole leadership was just interesting,
Okay.
and I was a part of the transition during that. And it was kind of nerve-wracking, but at the same time, you just kind of go, God's going to have it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And you move on.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So so that's kind of how you got into ministry, and that's really cool. Man, I'm super jealous of the Tennessee time you had.
Me too. Tennessee has
it was
always
great.
been like, it's always been a state that I'm like, if I could move anywhere, Tennessee, Smoky Mountains.
Yeah.
Oh,
They are our best mountains by far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're pretty great.
Yeah.
So why Kidsmen?
So growing up, Tiffany Graber was around, and
Okay.
she was amazing. She was the children's minister before me, and so I just really loved what she did. And I mean, I really went into the teaching degree hoping I could do children's ministry, but wanting to be safe with like a steady job.
Yeah, I have a job now. Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And so then I was just in college, and it was kind of like, meh, no, you want to do it. It's what God wants you to do.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna do it now.
Okay. Cool. So then, do your parents go here as well?
Mhm.
How's that?
Interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
Because my mother is a volunteer for me.
Okay.
Okay, that's
All
exciting.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, layers of authority happening.
Oh, yeah. And then my father's an elder.
Oh my.
So it's
I've
quite
hired
crazy.
elders' daughters before.
I don't know what that means.
We're gonna leave it alone. Let's say that.
Okay. So like with the leadership change and then that, and it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Our nights we talk about church so much
Yeah.
that it's insane.
It's probably unhealthy, right?
Yeah, probably
So
a little bit.
my wife is my assistant,
Okay.
so I get a
Oh.
little piece of what you're talking about
Mhm.
there. Like it's
Yep.
like, okay, the church has to shut off at some point. right?
Yeah, that's when I
Yeah.
just go in my room and don't come out for like 4 hours.
Okay.
It's fine. I'm a millennial that lives at home.
I was
Hey,
gonna ask you
Handling
about
it.
that actually.
That's
if you
okay.
moved back in with your parents' house or not?
Yeah, you know, student loans are a thing.
I do know they're a thing. I still have some.
I get it.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah. So you live at home and you talk about church all the time. How do you disconnect from church? Like how? Not you know what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
free time. How do you unplug? And
I like
relax?
TV a little too much.
Okay.
I think like that's my thing is I can get lost in a TV show or a movie, connect way too much to characters.
So what's your genre?
It just depends. I do a lot of like superhero stuff. I'm
Alright.
a little into Big Brother. I know that's not okay.
Big Brother. Okay.
Yeah, it's a reality.
I did not
TV
know that it
show.
was still.
I
on.
didn't either.
Oh, 20th season is going on.
Oh
Oh
gosh.
man.
Yeah, no.
That says something about
Stop
that.
it. Whatever.
A little bit,
News,
a little
whatever
bit.
station you're on.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of my
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
So like you like superhero TV shows?
So
too?
like
Mhm.
The Flash.
Yeah, I'm rewatching The Arrow right now.
Okay.
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 Mhm.
So good. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then all the Marvel movies and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
So who's your favorite superhero?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Cause like I really do mix Marvel and DC.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't really care.
Yeah. No. Who
So
does?
it's kind of like Superman or maybe Thor.
All right.
Okay.
I don't
Why
know.
is that funny?
Thor was not. It was not expected.
Have you seen Chris Hemsworth?
Is it? Yeah, I was
Okay,
like, is
okay.
it
Come
Thor?
on.
Is it Thor or is it Chris
Okay,
Hemsworth?
I wasn't.
We blur the lines.
Okay,
Because I've never had a favorite superhero based on how handsome he was. I guess
That's true. That's fair. Oh man. Okay. So yeah.
So okay, so you said Superman. So can we ask you some judgy questions for a moment?
Ooh, okay.
Did you like Superman versus Batman?
Kind of. It was weird.
Are you a Henry Cavill fan?
Recently, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't really know who he was until like a month ago, and then I've been really into all of them.
All right.
Okay.
I change my favorites very frequently.
Okay.
I
Okay.
admit that. I don't like Die Hard for something.
Okay.
Okay. Gotcha.
Except for the Cubs, maybe.
Except for the
Oh,
Cubs.
so are you a big sports fan?
Yeah, a little bit. I have 2 older brothers and my dad, so...
Are you getting updates on your watch right now?
No,
Okay.
I'm trying not to anyway.
Okay.
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 But, yeah.
Cool. Are you a coffee person?
Yeah.
How do you like your coffee?
With cream and sugar.
Yeah. Are you a hot or cold?
Both, but I tend toward cold.
When you say cream and
Yeah.
sugar, do you mean cream or do you mean like flavored substances?
Usually just cream.
Okay.
I don't really like adding a bunch of flavors in there.
Okay, I can respect that more.
Yeah, absolutely. I can, in my
'Cause
head, when
for
you
like-
said cream and sugar, you became Miss Pumpkin Spice.
Oh, no. I
Okay.
actually don't like pumpkin spice.
Okay.
Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is something about you that most people don't know?
Ooh, I don't know. I'm a pretty open book.
What would surprise us about you?
Honestly, probably the Big Brother thing would surprise a lot of people.
that is, I'm
Like,
surprised anybody.
It's just be
would
like,
think-
oh, judgment.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much right away.
That's okay.
That's not my normal thing, so it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, cool. All right. So, again, you went to Johnson. Is it still Johnson Bible College? It's Johnson University.
It's
now.
Johnson University.
Yeah, because I'm old and so.
Yeah,
Back
Um,
in my day.
I
But
was
like,
there during transition.
what's your best college story?
Oh gosh. There was one time. So at Johnson, you're not allowed to get out after a certain time. Like you're stuck in the dorms.
Curfews.
Yeah,
Curfew.
curfews.
We had curfew in college.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So my friends and I really wanted cake one night, and so I went to my RA. I was like, "Hey, can we just like run to Walmart real quick and then come back?" She said no. So we made a.
So you did it anyway.
No, I
Oh.
wish. I was not that rebellious.
Uh,
But we made a cake out of vending machine things. So like we grounded up like Twix and other candy bars and like made a little chocolate ganache out of what I had in my mini fridge. I was pretty proud of it.
that's pretty impressive.
Was it good?
Yeah, actually.
So,
All right.
so my wife and I started dating in college, and we would occasionally make supper together in the dorm lobby out of a hot pot.
You were that couple?
We were that couple.
Yeah, I know
I love
that. I know that couple.
Hey, we got married at 20.
I judged you a lot.
I don't care. Judge me
Yes.
all you want, man.
The hot pot in the dorm or in the.
Yeah.
Are hot pots even allowed in colleges anymore? I don't think so.
No.
They're like
So.
the biggest fire risk ever.
Absolutely.
We had like a legit oven and like a little kitchenette thing.
A
Gotcha.
legit oven.
Well, use that term loosely.
A legit, like an apartment oven?
of
Yeah,
the
that
times it
kind
heated
of
up.
worked.
Yeah.
Okay,
It burnt cookies, which was very frustrating.
okay.
Yeah.
So, do you have pets?
No, I don't. I'm trying to get a dog.
That was a sad no, yeah.
I'm very sad about it.
Okay.
My
So-
dog died while I was in college.
Oh.
There's-
Sorry to
we're not
bring it up.
No, it's okay. It's actually kind of a funny story now, I guess. He
It's
died,
like a dramedy.
yeah, he died during my finals week.
Oh.
And so my mom and I had a plan because, like, he was old.
Mhm.
And so she was supposed to text me, say, it happened. And then we had this thing called Puppy Zone where it's just to go pet a bunch of puppies. And so I was going to go to Puppy Zone. It was going to be fine.
Yeah, right.
That did not happen. They all said that it was finals week. They didn't want to stress me out, which, like, I understand. So they didn't tell me
Mhm.
at all. So then I called home at one point and I was like, hey, Mom, how's it going? Da-da-da. And I hear barking. I was like, wow, Buddy's like really loud. And then my dad yelled, Buddy, get off the table. And I was like, he hasn't been able to get on the table for like 4 years. What is happening?
This is Buddy too.
Are
Yeah.
they playing a sound of a dog
Oh,
in the
just wait. So anyway, they're all barking. My brothers and my father are sitting there laughing, apparently, which I don't hear. I just hear barking. I'm on my way home after finals, and you're exhausted. I'm going through Indianapolis traffic, and my brother decides to kind of hint that my dog died. And I'm like, but he refuses to admit that the dog is actually dead. So he's like, Kathleen,
What a jerk.
and he's trying to talk himself out of it. So I hang up the phone. I call my other brother. I'm like, Brian, did Buddy die? And he's like, well, I don't want to be the one to tell you, but yeah. And so I almost got in like 4 car crashes. It's fine.
Oh.
Can we have a moment of silence for Buddy? Just okay. No. Like wow.
That's
yeah.
Wow.
That's like if they're gonna wait to tell you, they could have just not barked at all.
Correct.
Like who was barking?
Like my dad and my older brothers. Yeah.
So was it your mom's idea not to tell you then?
No, she wanted to tell me, and they all talked her out of it.
Oh, what do you like? That's even worse.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we had the whole plan.
Wow.
Because we knew it was happening.
Yeah, and I understand like holding off until you
Yeah.
were done with finals.
Yeah,
I get that.
Mhm.
But like as soon as you knew you were done with finals, come on, make that phone call.
Right.
So
right.
here's what happened with my wife.
Oh,
We had
no.
just we had been married for probably 6 months, and her childhood dog dies. Her mom calls me and says, Zach, I don't have the heart to tell her. I can't do it. But Sam died. We had to put him down today. You need to tell Joy. And I'm just like, I've been married to this
Oh,
woman.
she'll find out the next time she goes home.
Yeah, right? And I'm like, what? And Joy's staring at me like, because
Why would her mom call you?
yes,
Other than an emergency.
Yeah.
yes.
My wife's mother calls me only for emergencies.
It's not that I don't have a decent relationship
Yeah.
with my mother-in-law. It's that
She calls her daughter.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Joy's staring at me like,
Did my dad die?
what's
Mhm.
wrong?
I almost think it'd be relieving though, like because at least it was the dog and not like a sibling.
Yeah, kind of. But this was her dog.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
she did shows with this dog, all this stuff. So. Which is part of the reason that we want a golden retriever, is because Sam was a golden
Yeah.
retriever and just an awesome dog. So yeah, that was also a jerk move by my mother-in-law. Like, tell your daughter.
Well, then I was like,
Oh, whatever.
what if Grandma died? Are you not going to tell me that?
Yeah, right.
You're just going to make an old lady voice
So
in the
did you
background?
have to have that conversation with your family?
I was so upset.
I'm
like-
sure.
This is probably the first time I've actually laughed about it.
Oh man.
And it's been like a good 3-4 years.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
well, I'm glad we could
Yeah,
laugh
yeah,
together
yeah.
about this.
Yeah, because I was genuinely
So
upset.
bring it up at supper tonight and just be like, afterwards, ask for something you really want for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You know,
A new puppy.
Like milk it. Remember that time that my dog died and you didn't tell me, and then you started pranking me on the phone, and I had to cry and get in a wreck in Indianapolis.
Mhm.
I need a puppy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turns out he was worried I was going to get home before everybody.
Yeah.
Because he realized I was going to by like my time frame. It was a hot mess.
What a mess, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
fine.
I now think things about your parents.
Yeah, right.
They're-
There's a
they're
little bit
great.
of judgment.
They're wonderful people.
I'm
Yeah.
sure, but their judgment.
That was not the best call.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all got parents who make mistakes.
Mhm.
I'm a parent.
They're
I make
humans.
mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, okay, kids men,
Mhm.
right? What do you call it? Children's ministry, kids ministry? Whatever.
Children's
Yeah, okay.
ministry.
So, what is your passion there? Like, what is your favorite thing about kids men?
That I get to tell kids that they are loved and that they are wanted, because I think a lot of hurt comes from that when kids grow up not knowing that they are loved and that they are wanted
Mhm.
by something so much greater than they can even fathom right now.
Yeah.
And that's my favorite part of it, especially because we have those fringe kids who don't really come super
Yeah.
often.
Right.
And so when I get to tell them that, I get so excited.
Mhm.
So you're through 6th grade in
Mhm.
Kidsman. So you have the opportunity to see a lot of payoff, right? Because you're with kids for like 12 years.
Mhm.
That's longer than the youth pastor will be with them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Mhm.
You know, what a great relationship you can have there.
Yeah. I've only been here for a year, so I'm still kind of
Yeah.
waiting to see that. But yeah.
Sure.
So here's a question for you, because you grew up here.
Mhm.
You're 22, 3, 4, somewhere in there,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're living at home, single.
Mhm.
Are you also a babysitter sometimes? Like, is there a crossing of lines that happens there occasionally?
Sometimes, usually just for Jacob, is
Okay.
what happens.
Gotcha.
But I don't mind it because I love the kiddos.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
I just wondered, because I could see a church being like, oh, let's just call the children's
yeah,
ministry.
they actually don't very
That's
often.
good.
Is that
Unless
the-
they're in
yeah,
a
I feel like that's a
bind.
good thing.
That's a good
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
thing. Yeah, because
Yeah.
that could get to a line really quickly.
Yeah, and I was talking about this on another episode that we did. You know, every once in a long while, like a parent will reach out to me for one of their students, because I'm a student pastor and worship and guy, so they'll reach out to me and be like, "Hey, I can't find anything to do with my kid, and I have to do this. Can we come over?" And I don't mind that at all, because it's good one-on-one relationship time. But yeah, there are times that happens, and I'm like, all right, I'm putting on the work hat again.
Yeah.
So it can be a blessing when they don't do that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because it definitely, even when you're trying to teach them, it blurs the line of how far they can push.
Yeah.
It's obviously in a babysitting setting, you're gonna let them get away with a whole lot more.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas in a school setting or class setting, you can't really do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So when you have questions about student ministry or kids ministry and all that, where do you turn?
A few different places. I talk to Andy a lot because he's just been around.
Sure.
And he's pretty good at what he does. I think he's really good at what he does.
And Andy is the student pastor here, right?
Mhm. Yep. And then I have a mentor up near Chicago that I talk to a lot when I have questions and things. And a big part of what I do is pray a whole lot.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure it out.
Cool. Are you a reader?
I should be.
Not
I've
so
gotten
much,
more
okay.
into I do a lot of podcasts and audiobooks more.
Yeah.
Because I'm in the car a lot, so it's a whole lot easier.
It's easier to listen. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. What have you listened to anything good lately?
I listened to That Sounds Fun by Annie F. Downs.
Okay.
A lot, and hers is more just women in ministry
Mhm.
more than anything. But hers is really good.
Cool. All right.
There's a good tip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pro tip.
Pro tip if you are a lady in ministry.
Mm-hmm.
So check out that
Yeah.
podcast. That's awesome. So let's talk for a second about pizza. Do you love pizza?
Okay. Of course.
Of course, because some of your staff members hate pizza.
Is it Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He hates most things.
Okay. So you love pizza. Okay.
Seriously.
I know. He told me the list of foods he eats, and there's like 5
Tacos.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what.
Yeah.
So he told tacos and appetizers.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I wondered if, because that probably means he's anti-vegetables. So I
Yeah.
wondered if he would go for a fried green bean, or if that's too close to a vegetable.
I don't know. I don't know that we've ever tried
Should
it.
challenge it.
Yeah.
We'll have you guys come over to Wilmington sometime. We'll go to
Okay.
Nelly's and get some fried green beans.
Oh,
Okay,
so
perfect.
good. You dip them in ranch.
Mm.
They're good. So let's talk about pizza. If you're going to order your ideal pizza, what are you getting?
Sausage with onions and green peppers.
Like breakfast sausage or like Italian sausage?
Like Italian sausage.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
Cool.
all right.
No
and
mushrooms.
Thin, thick.
I like deep dish a lot,
All right.
but
Like
thin is
Chicago
okay.
deep dish?
Yeah.
Like
or
Giordano's?
Pizza Hut deep dish?
Yeah, like
Okay.
it takes an hour to make.
Yes, that's the best kind of pizza.
Mhm.
Okay. I
People-
disagree with that. It's lasagna is what that is. Without the noodles.
No, because lasagna is not good. Like, certain lasagnas are good,
Yeah.
but most lasagna is not good.
It's like one piece and you're done,
Yes.
and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Yeah.
you don't eat a whole pizza, which is like,
It's true.
I'm pretty sure my brother is a big guy like me, and we went to Giordano's once. I'm pretty sure we ordered a small pizza, and we had enough leftovers that like there was a homeless guy right outside the restaurant. We're
Mhm.
like, here you go, dude. Like,
yeah.
here's half a pizza.
Yeah. If
Mhm.
you've never been to Giordano's, it is an experience and it is good,
Mhm.
but it's just not. I would never call it my favorite.
So what's your favorite? Okay, what's your favorite dish restaurant? Because there's
What?
Gio's, there's Uno's, there's
Oh, probably Gino's.
okay,
Yeah, we've been
Mhm.
going there since I was little.
okay.
It's like a special thing.
It's like a special thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
It's
loves
just,
the cornbread.
this
crust.
is like
Yeah.
where you go for graduation.
Yeah, and
that.
like birthdays.
yeah.
Gotcha. So,
Mhm.
like, but are there other places that you like? Forget pizza, just
Okay.
restaurants in general, food in general. Like, what if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life? What would it
Oh. Ooh, I don't know. It used to be meatloaf, but now that's not quite it anymore. I grew up a little bit.
be? Oh, I
But
love
meatloaf's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It is. I don't disagree. Maybe like spaghetti because you could do so much with it.
Yeah, spaghetti's real good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Very, very cool. So you're a dog person, not a cat person.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have anything like? Are you any other pets that you're like? Oh, I would totally get one of those.
Not really.
Okay.
No.
Because like everything is a mess. My brother has a bunny,
Okay.
which is fine until it tries to bite your face.
Okay.
That's when I'm kind of like, no thanks on the bunny. That's this big. This is too big for a bunny.
Gotcha.
It's this big.
Holy cow.
It's a huge bunny.
That's awesome.
That is a big bunny.
Oh well, I guess a horse if I lived on a farm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do you do? Okay. Do you take days off?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Go to a movie.
Go to a movie.
Mhm.
Where do you go to movies from here?
In Frankfurt at
Okay.
the Imagine.
Okay.
My
Do
new
they have
spot.
the recliner seats?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Mhm. Yeah, it's really nice.
I have a hard time with recliner seats of not going to sleep.
Oh
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, like they're narcoleptic to me.
Mhm.
So yeah, I have this issue.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The first time I went to one of those, the guy next to me took off his shoes, and I was like, "That's a little too comfortable."
I totally did that just
No,
this last
you
week
didn't!
at a movie.
Oh.
We went to go see Christopher Robin with my kids, and I was wearing flip flops, so it wasn't like taking your shoes off, but I would totally do that.
Yeah.
But
this is like full on tennis shoes.
and I'm laid back, and at one point I go to pick on my wife with my foot, and my flip flop falls off. And I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna go with it. And took my other one off too, laid back, and went to sleep.
Oh my gosh. He legit did it before he even got in the seat though.
Yeah.
Like it was not an accident
That's
in any
awesome.
way.
It was like, all right,
That's
I'm gonna
awesome.
take
yeah,
this.
I'm
now
at
I'm gonna
home.
lay back.
Yeah, I was like, you need to not.
I don't know.
I support that guy's
Mhm.
message.
Oh my gosh.
No. Feet are weird.
Yeah.
People weird.
Mhm.
Everybody's got them.
They do.
Most everybody's got them.
Oh. Mhm.
Bro.
That's rough. I don't
Wow.
Sorry.
Like,
that was
Oh,
That was
wow.
terrible.
that was real bad.
I have a really dark.
We are not
Really?
editing that out either. That's staying. Welcome to our lives.
I have a really dark sense of humor,
Oh,
so
gosh.
welcome to that.
Okay.
Ooh.
Wow.
Now I can't get back to composure. There are so many more things to be said. Okay,
All right.
I'm back now.
You sure?
So obviously if you were a pastor, you'd be a teacher.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. What do you think you'd teach? Like at a certain grade level or a class or what?
Probably elementary level. I like those kids. Junior high is a bit too much for me.
Okay.
There are people that love those kids,
Yeah.
and that is wonderful. I'm not one of
And
them.
God is blessing them.
Yeah. Mhm.
Mhm.
That's not my forte. So probably elementary somewhere in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. So we talked earlier about who do you lean on for support, like when you've got a question about ministry.
Mhm.
My question is because you are single in ministry, Relationship wise, like when you go home at the end of the day and you need to decompress, is that mom and dad, or is there a friend, or is there who's that person?
Probably my mom most of the time, just because she's there.
Okay.
But I try to go to my friends, but my best friend is actually still in Tennessee, so that's just really hard.
Yeah.
And she's married and teaching, and has her own life. But yeah, typically my mom or my best friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. It's awesome you have that relationship with your mom.
Yeah.
I'm very close with my parents. Probably a little too close in
Yeah.
some people's opinion.
Okay.
That's gonna be a challenge one day for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it will.
Now, you said you have brothers as well. Do they also live here, go to church here, or do they not?
My one brother does. He lives that way. The other brother lives just in Kankakee, so not too far away, but he doesn't come to church here anymore.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Jinx. You said cool. Now you're not talking anymore? Unjinx.
Okay. I was like, okay, you can run this by yourself, man.
You're the worst. So, yeah, absolutely. What led you, did we talk about this? What led you to want to do ministry at all?
It was just kind of, that's where my path was going, I guess. I really loved kids. I kind of was working in like the wee worship room, like preschool since I was like 10.
Wow.
And never really stopped.
Yeah.
I found a church in Tennessee that I loved.
Yeah.
That I went to for the last 2 years of my college, and I was helping every Sunday there, and I just really loved it.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Gotcha.
Yeah. Was there a moment that it was like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing?
I don't know if there was one singular moment. I think it was just a lot of things put together.
Sure.
I think that's a good story to tell, because sometimes I think that people investigating ministry hear pastors say, oh, and I had this moment and this, because I'm one of those, I had a moment, right?
Right.
And they hear pastors say that, and then they think to themselves, well, I don't really have a moment. Maybe I'm not supposed to do that. You know?
And that's not the truth at all.
No, that is very uncommon that you come across somebody who's like, yeah, this was the moment I decided.
Yeah, no, God and I have a relationship where it's a long decision-making time.
Yeah.
It's never just a quick, oh, and we're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only time that kind of happened was with my job offer before this. I was in the middle of the interview and went, nope, and I interviewed great. But
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. So, like, did you just stop right there? Like, you know what? I'm not supposed to be here.
I didn't. I went through the interview, but probably by my body language, they were like, something changed.
Yeah.
Just because I was way more relaxed, I was like, yeah, no, we're good.
So, without mentioning any specifics, okay, what was it in that interview process that just made you instantly realize this is not it?
There were several things leading up to it that I was kind of like, I don't really like that. I could put up with it, but I don't really like it. Not really my thing. I was gonna have to be part-time secretary and things like that.
Yeah.
That I was like, I just went to college for 4 years, and I'm not a book person, so I'm like, I worked really hard.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, I don't really want to do that, which is hilarious because I do that here.
Yeah. Right.
Like it just changed with the situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is funny that you're like, I want to do that there, but then Jacob's like, why don't you do it here? And you're like, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah, like the bulletin,
Yeah.
they were like, you're probably going to have to do that. And I was like, no thanks. Guess what I do here
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's amazing how being around the right people and in the right place, you'll do about anything.
Yep.
Ministry is about people.
Yes.
It is 100%. The enjoyment of your job is about people. Your effectiveness in your job is about people, and your longevity is about people.
Yes.
If you can't be good with the people that you're around, you cannot succeed where you are at.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So, no, that's a huge thing. Relationships are everything in ministry. So, because I know I went on interviews, like one of my interviews when I was getting ready to get out of college, I go to this church and they're like telling me about all these awesome volunteers that they have and stuff for their student ministry. I was a student pastor before I did preaching, and so they're telling me about it. And I go in there, and like one of the student volunteers is like screaming, like literally screaming at one of the students, right? And another one's telling me about some student that's stupid, And I'm like that's the word they choose to use, and I'm like I'm out, like this is just over.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure that somebody needs to go there, but I was not the person because I'm way too blunt to deal with those people.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
Yeah, your volunteers make all the difference.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So how do you celebrate your volunteers? Do you do that?
I try to.
Okay.
We do little gifts throughout the whole year. Like it was Teacher Appreciation Day, and I got all my teachers flowers
Yeah.
and just little things like that. And then what I want to do for this coming year, because I just got the idea at a conference, is actually like a celebration at the end where it's like a nice dinner,
Yeah.
and you all kind of sit and talk about like the victories you had that year, and then kind of I get to place our vision for the upcoming year.
Yeah.
And I really want to do that because like my volunteers work so hard.
Yeah.
And they're so wonderful, and I would not be doing this job without them.
So two things there. Number one, Teacher Appreciation Day for children's ministry volunteers. You're a genius.
Mm.
That is brilliant.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you're watching this or listening to this, you need to do that.
Yeah.
I said that because I know our children's people will watch or listen to this. Number two is what was the conference?
It was just this little one that I went to with the mentor from Chicago. I think it was through who does True Curriculum? Is that
Who does what?
True Story
You know
Curriculum?
what? I don't know.
I don't know. It was whoever does that. I think.
Okay.
And it was really good. It was just like 2 hours. It
Yeah.
wasn't like a big conference. It was $10.
Yeah.
And it was just like, here's little ideas and, more of a networking event.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, do this. And I was like, that's genius.
Yeah.
Why have I not done that?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Do you struggle to find volunteers for Kids Man?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Especially because, Tyson and Tiffany, who were here before me, they were here for 15 years. So when they left, a lot of people were like, this is a natural break for me.
Yeah.
So the people who had been doing it for 15 years, which they needed a break,
Right.
they're kind of like, I'm out.
I'm
And
out.
I was like, great.
That's fantastic.
And
Yeah.
so the hardest one is preschool, actually. Because
Okay.
a lot of people think they're just crazy, which they are. But, you can contain the crazy.
Yeah. So this podcast isn't about the numbers. We talk to people in all kinds of different types of churches. But, do you have an idea how many kids do you see on a weekly basis, give or take?
Well, if we're not doing, Wednesday night programming, so during the summer, we probably see around 35 to 40.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, and then if we have Wednesday, we get a few more kids in.
Yeah.
And so that's probably more around, 50.
So, do you have an estimate of how many volunteers you need on a Sunday? Do you know that, or do you not?
Yeah, I mean, just because of, it's so structured.
Sure.
So it's, let's see. Plus, we do 2 services, so
Right.
you have to double
Yeah.
everything you're going to do. That's 4, 8, 15
Okay. 15
Per service or
Yeah.
total?
total.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
and the
you're-
reason we're asking these questions is not, to
Mhm.
think, but we want y'all to know that you are not alone.
No,
Yeah,
not at all.
Because what you're talking about, there are 60 people a month
Mhm.
in a church that's in the 300 range.
Mhm.
And you just lost volunteers who ended at the end of 15 years.
Mhm.
And probably for a lot of them, they got out of children's ministry because they were tired, but also their kids were done.
Mhm.
So they're not coming back,
Mhm.
Yeah. And so people need to know that this is a legitimate struggle for children's
Mhm.
ministries.
Yeah.
When's the last time you went into a service and sat down and enjoyed a service?
Enjoyed it?
Wait.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Remember your boss is preaching.
Yeah, no. I mean, I was just in service this last week, but it was to do media.
When was the last time you went in, sat down, and worshiped Jesus?
Oh, a good couple months, probably.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and that's the reason I brought up the numbers. Okay, it's not because this podcast is not about numbers.
Right.
But I bring it up so that people will realize a lot of obviously they know that I'm up front talking.
Mhm.
Obviously they know that he's up front leading worship.
Mhm.
What they don't realize is that when he's done leading worship, at least he can sit down and listen to a sermon, right? And if I'm not on the worship team, at least I can engage in worship without actively doing something up front.
Right.
What they don't realize is our children's people are way undernourished because they're way understaffed.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think it's important for us to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is a goal we have here that I am in one service a Sunday. It's just not always the most attainable
It's
goal.
no, and we have the same goal for our children's people, and it doesn't always happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right.
because numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, I just had a teacher go on maternity leave,
Mm-hmm.
so of course she needs it. Like, I don't want her to come back
Sure.
too soon. Like, she's got a
Yeah.
new baby. But I was the only one that could fill
Yeah.
it like
Mhm.
permanently.
Yeah, well, and you're the one who gets the text message at 6
Mhm.
a.m. on Sunday morning that
Yep.
says, "Hey, I can't be here today."
I've gotten one at 10 a.m. for the 10:30 service,
Oh,
and I was like,
that better be
Really?
a good excuse.
it wasn't.
Wow.
Like, I'm sorry, I literally just threw up out
Yeah.
of my eyeball, and
Yeah.
I'm going to the hospital.
Yeah, so I mean, it's
it
fine.
really is a good excuse.
You make it work, and it's all fine.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
know, a little heads up would be nice.
Yeah, that's the person who next month you're like, well, you're on diaper changing duty.
Yep.
Uh-huh. You're gonna feel that one.
And I'm giving the kids oatmeal and first gathering.
Oh
My goodness. Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
man.
Which is why I'm not a children's pastor.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for doing this. We
Of course.
we really appreciate sitting down with you and hearing about your heart and getting to know you. We've never met you.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Like,
Like legitimately, I walked into her office and said, "Hey, we're ready for you," and we came in here and introduced ourselves
Yeah.
and started recording.
Mm-hmm.
so if you would do us a favor, like this, share it, comment on it, whatever you can do to help support this. Subscribe if you can, because we're going to be putting out stuff like this all the time. We love sharing the stories of our friends in ministry, and so we would love to share yours. Maybe reach out to us. We could share that.
Yeah. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Pray for us. We'll be praying for you. See you
Bye-bye.
later.